Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Top of the morning to ya. This is the Metal Hammer of Doom, and I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. And we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day in the only way that we know how, by reviewing, on the year of its 30th anniversary, House of Pain's self-titled album, House of Pain, Fine Malt Lyrics, which debuted July 21st, 1992, and was recorded between November of 91 and May of 1992. If you don't know anything about House of Pain, you know their big hit single from around that time, Jump Around. And boy, are we ready to do that tonight. We're going to put on our shit kickers and kick some shit. We're about to drop bombs on your mom. I am not alone. Here to celebrate with me, he's shined up his shillelagh. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jesse Starcher. How do you do, sir?
Mark, you know, I kicks the flavor like Stephen King writes horror.
Oh.
But, you know, if I was a Jew, I'd light a menorah.
I've got rhymes
right.
for you.
Oh, my goodness. You know, one thing that I remember with this album is the fact that when I bought it, I don't think I could find the explicit version anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So every place that every song that I listened to over and over and over had some kind of, you know, what 90s censoring sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
So can you believe that a lot of what I was hearing was put on your ish kickers and kick some ish.
Yeah.
That's what I heard over and over.
And you're like, what does this have to do with Ishtar? Why? I don't understand. Put on your ish tickers and some Ishtar.
Something else, man. Something else. But I think this might be the first time I actually listened to the uncensored album.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be fun to talk about tonight, man.
House of Pain consisted of Everlast, who went on to do his own solo thing, DJ Lethal, who went on to do Limp Bizkit, and Danny Boy, who went back to his home planet.
DJ Lethal, who brought it on.
He did. We are not alone, however. Here to celebrate with us, he was just a wee baby. He's a little baby. Oh, just rolling around the house, putting things in his mouth. But if he could, he would have put on his shit kickers to kick some shit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Metal Coop, Robert Cooper. Salutations. He who breaks the law, Robert Cooper, you know where they go. They go back to the House of Pain.
You know, fortunately, as a child, I actually put on my shit diapers.
It smeared some poo?
Pretty much. Like, I just took a giant shit everywhere as a child, and fortunately, that is a skill that I have since perfected as an adult.
And now that skill pays the bills?
Oh, boy, does it. I mean, let's just say I'm crop dusting like more than fucking Farmer Brown.
So, 1992, July 21st, 1992 is the summer between 10th grade and 11th grade for me when I was in high school. What I remember most about this album around that time was it was every party, every school dance, every Sweet 16 that I went to in Long Island, New York. You could not get away from this song, from this album. I want to say around the same time was also Cypress Hill, and so there was a lot of How I Could Just Kill a Man and Hand on the Pump. I have to go back and look, but I feel like Hello Nasty might have been around this time too by the Beastie Boys, so there was like a lot of intergalactic. No, you know what it was? It was probably Sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
Ooh, I don't know, man. Sabotage feels like it came out in like 96 or something like that. I have to look that up. I will look it up.
I'm going to look it up now, like what album I'm thinking of that was around the same time. But like there was a lot of, like, just as, you know, hip-hop was absolutely growing in the mid-90s, there was a mainstream element of hip-hop that white people embraced wholeheartedly, like religious zealots. And House of Pain was part of that. But, you know, I was joking around with you, Robert Cooper. What's your relationship to this album, this band? Like, how did you come to it? How much of it have you listened to?
I've listened to Jump Around in its entirety twice
Mm-hmm.
for this album. I mean, otherwise, yeah, it was insert music for I Love the 90s or for some VH1 countdown or something, or I'd hear parts of it on the radio. But I mean, really, it was nothing, you know, it was nothing really to write home about for me. It's always been kind of a background song that I hear that's playing that, you know, I enjoy, but overall, it's usually just, it's there. And I will say listening to this album in full does help me kind of understand why this band was important.
Okay, so
in the overall honky sphere of white rappers.
Indeed.
Okay.
Speaking of honky sphere, the album I was thinking of was actually Check Your Head, Jesse. Okay. And that came out April 21st of 1992. This is the 30th anniversary of the Beastie Boys' Check Your Head. And so the song that I was thinking about that I used to hear everywhere was probably So What You Want, which, by the way, I had that in my head this morning as I was going to work. And you could just see my old fat ass just, you know, with my lunch in my hand, just like dance walking to my car to So What You Want in my head. I'm sure somebody who looked out their window was like, why is he having some sort of a palsy stroke? I don't understand what's going on. But
somebody walks up to the desk at work, and I'm certain that you were probably like, "So what you want?
So what you want? I want you to Baker Act this person. Why are you stuttering?" So you're not that much younger than me, Jesse. You're only within like a year or two. Tell me about your relationship to the House of Pain.
Yeah, man. This is the glory days of like MTV. At my household, you know, we had cable and we were able to watch MTV, and there was Yo MTV Raps. I don't know if that. I'm pretty certain that it started by this time. This is '92, and there was, you know, House of Pain was getting some radio play. This is a very, very popular song, and yeah, you're right. White boy culture embraced this arms wide open. We finally get some arms wide open. Sing it. Yeah, and it was played a lot at my house. I got this album. I think this was a Columbia House special, and I ended up getting, because I bought this album, I ended up getting the next one, which was I had it right here in front of me. What was it called? Same as It Ever Was, and didn't hit as well.
No,
we'll just put it that way.
I don't think they ever achieved the heights they did as they did with Fine Malt lyrics. But I just want to read a couple of things from the wiki here. Rolling Stone says, with a groovy swagger, this collection of hardcore hip-hop tracks offers many moments of technicolor snap and crackle, and also titled House of Pain. Q Magazine says their music is of the dense, hard-hitting school of hip-hop. The group have absorbed Black Rap's musical lessons and create a satisfying platform from their above-average deliveries. When we did the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, that's actually something I thought about, how like House of Pain perfected looking tough and swaying your shoulders in front of a camera. Like, that is all that video is.
Over and over and over.
Yeah, it's just keep moving the camera, keep sneering and swiveling those hips.
Right.
The Source says a very solid and at times exceptional album. Imagine if Licensed Ill wasn't an upper middle class Jewish thing, but rather a working class Irish thing. And Jesse, you asked before, like, why is Jump Around so resonant with the masses? This is why. This says it better than I ever could. The atmosphere is like that of a cross between a frat party and a ballroom brawl.
Yeah, I cannot disagree. There's no way I could disagree with that.
Absolutely. Maybe on the next break I'll read some of where this landed on the charts, but let's get started.
Let's hear them horns.
Yeah, let's go. So here we go. We're going to play... I cut the commercials out of this, but I'm going to play Salutations because it really does set the tone for this album. So we're going to hear Salutations, Jump Around, and Put Your Head Out. Put your head out. The
I'll take the punks home. Feeling funky, amps in a trunk, and I got more rhymes than this cops at a Dunkin' Donut shop. Sure enough, I got props from the kids on the hill, plus my mom and my pops. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, 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 everybody jump, 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 everybody jump, 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 jump. I rip shit like a pro when I flow, and I score points with the joints that I throw. Cause I throw daily, I'm no punk, see. I break backs, make tracks, and get funky. There's nowhere to run to, cause nobody cares. MCs drop to your knees, say your prayers. The luck of the Irish is about to kick in. Prepare to die and notify your next of kin. I'm going all out, buck, duck, and call out. That's how I'm living, punk, you better stall out. This is the house of pain. To come inside is insane. I'll put your head out, I'll put your head out, jump up, spread out. I'll put your head out, I'll put your head out, put your head out, jump up, spread out. I'll put your head out.
I'll put your head out, Jesse Starcher. I'll put your head out.
Wow. All right, so we got these first three tracks that we just we get through. Salutations, obviously, not that big of a deal. We're just welcome you in to the House of Pain that way.
Screaming, this is the House of Pain.
Right. And then we provide to pour extra hot lava all over your face with Jump Around. And
oh, my God.
like
just jump up and punch the guy next to you and keep on going. Just don't even skip around, do a circle pit, and just keep punching, baby.
Right, right. Now, this leads kind of into the next point, and this supports what you said earlier. But you talk about aggression. That is all this album is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's a point in which any of these songs where he's saying, I'm just a nice guy, come on over and hang out.
No, he's ready. He is ready to fuck you up. And if you didn't know, now you know. When he's like, I want to get Robert Cooper in on this real quick, but I played this for my kids. Like I was bumping it in the car, taking them to the car riders line at school because I'm that parent. Normally I don't bring them to school, but I had to do it on Tuesday because my wife stayed home, and so I had to take them through. So normally they go through the back of the school, where the teachers walk in, but I had to take them through the car riders line. And yeah, I was that parent, just bumping House of Pain. And my son's like, I love how like aggressive this album is. I don't always love everything that you're saying. I just love it. It has just this like tough guy aggressive feel to it. And my daughter's like, I agree. But the death glare she gave me at one point during one of these songs where Everlast is like, I'm at my sexual peak, ladies. And if she could have thrown herself out of the car, she would have. And I remember she said to me, she said to me later, she was like, "Can I just ask one question?" She's like, I like the beats, I like the music to House of Pain, and he's got cool voices, but does he always have to talk about beating the crap out of people? And I'm like, yes.
That is how you prove your masculinity, you see, by spreading your seed, smoking some weed, and beating a guy like he's a half-dead steed.
Oh,
look at you. Talk about got rhymes. So, Salutations is, like I said, it just sets the tone of the album, and they're really letting you know who they are and what they're all about. They're the House of Pain. Jump Around, it's that mix that we were talking about of, like, a bar fight and a frat party that's so perfect. That is just, like, you just want people to, to get drunk and jump around and have fun and act like gorillas. That's the song to do it. And I'll tell you, like, this is I think it's, I can't remember around what year Dr. Dre's The Chronic comes out and, like, redefines
1992,
rap music.
sir.
Okay.
1992.
Jesus Christ, 92 might be the best year in music ever.
There is a very good argument to be had. Actually,
holy crap. Because isn't that also Nevermind?
No, Nevermind came out in 91, I believe.
Okay.
92 is, my goodness, hold on. I just had, like, all of the albums up there. Like, Das EFX' Dead Serious came out, which is one of my favorite albums. So Ice Cube's The Predator gets released in 92. You said Dr. Dre's The Chronic. Let's see what else shows
When did
up here.
Snoop Dogg's debut album come out?
It had to have been 93. I don't see it on this list.
I'm
going
guaranteeing
down
there was
through here.
probably something from Tupac and Biggie around this time.
I'm looking through, man. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, was that the
Hold
the
on,
Lynch
boys.
Mob? Gorillas
Body
in the
Count.
Mist. Body Count came out then? 92?
Yeah.
Oh,
shit, dude.
I don't know if you know this or not, but Body Count's in the house.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there is a lot of great albums that hit in this period of time. I'm telling you, man, there is a very good argument to be had about some of the. So 91, we've seen the meme. We've talked about it on here. We've seen that picture of all the albums that got released in 91 just in that short amount of time. Pearl Jam's 10, Nirvana's Nevermind,
Right.
Soundgarden's
Soundgarden.
Bad Motorfinger.
Right. I think, what do you call it?
Gosh.
Wish from Smashing Pumpkins.
Countdown to Extinction by Megadeth. Song
Oh,
69 by Ministry.
Was the Black
Utopia.
Album 90, 91, or 92?
I thought it was 91.
Okay.
I think it is. I'm going to double check that and make sure.
Utopia Banished by Napalm Death. Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera.
Which redefines metal.
Rage Against the Machine self-titled album.
Yeah. This is a-
Metallica's Black Album released August
This is
12th,
such a
91.
This is such a crazy fucking era for music. Just these couple of years, man. It's
Yeah,
pretty
dude.
goddamn amazing.
Yeah.
And
When you
Sleep's
give it some
Holy
thought.
Mountain. Oh, and don't forget Dark Thrones Ablaze in the Northern Sky.
So anyway,
Almost forgot.
so I want to quick talk about, because the low hanging fruit is to talk about how great Jump Around is, but Put Your Head Out featuring Be Real of Cypress Hill is the dope jam.
Yeah.
I was, because here's the thing, forget about the mainstream resonance of Jump Around. Put Your Head Out. Put Your Head Out is just captures the iconic rap sound of that era. That 5-year 90 to 95 period, that low aggressive tone of Put Your Head Out, that is, oh my god, it's so good. I love Put Your Head Out, and Be Real just adds a fucking dope flavor to that song.
What's interesting
By the
about
way,
this
take
is
a drink every time I say dope.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. This actually ties back to House of Pain. House of Pain. House of Pain's Jump Around. And I want to read this to you real quick because this is interesting. I found this on irishcentral.com. All right. This was an article that was written about, it was about a month or so ago. So here we go. I'm going to just read directly from this. It says, I'll tell you a little story that I don't tell many people. Cypress Hill's Sin Dog told Cue Ball of Medium in August of 2016. It says, Muggs gave us the music to jump around first for some reason. It was the only time in my life that I could not come up with a good idea to one of Muggs' songs. So I gave it back to him and told him to give it to Everlast. And boom. That was the last time I told myself I can't or I won't. So Cypress Hill had basically all of Jump Around in front of them. They just had to come up with some stuff to go with it. And they didn't. And it ends up becoming this huge hit for House of Pain. And then, of course, we get, they definitely probably felt like they owe something to Cypress Hill. Let's get them. They're good pals. They're going to get them on the album. So yeah, Be Real here. It's great to see him kind of show up, and just like you said, it kind of solidifies that '90s rap, that rap feel for this album. Kind of puts them on the map too, because Cypress Hill, just like you said, they've been around in '91. When did we say the following album for Cypress Hill's Black Sunday drops? That dropped in 92, that couldn't have been. It had to have been 93, right?
I'm looking up there just the whole discography now. So Cypress Hill, they
Black Sunday hits 93.
Yeah, so self-titled hits 1991, skip a year, Black Sunday is 93, and of course we all know Black Sunday because of Insane in the Brain.
Right. So,
Insane in the Membrane. How could I forget?
That's
Dude,
right, buddy.
Can we just talk about fucking real quick Black Sunday? I want to get high, and I do.
Never heard
No, I ain't going out like that. Insane in the
going
Brain
out,
when the
dude.
shit. Oh,
This
Jesse,
got
when the
played
shit
over
goes
and over.
down.
You better be ready.
Oh, when the shit goes down. Robert Cooper's like, why am I on this podcast?
I do feel like perhaps my expertise is a little lacking in this subject, considering I was shitting my britches like
Robert
for
Cooper's
the
like,
entirety of these years.
Robert Cooper's like, I'm going to just let Jesse and Mark jerk each other off. I have nothing to offer to this conversation.
You know what? Without that, would you have known that "A Blaze in the Northern Sky" by Dark Throne came out in '92 as well?
No.
Like, oh my
would
God,
not have known.
Cypress Hill, Metallica, Tupac,
Dark Throne.
Dark Throne. What?
You're like, one of these
They-
things is not like the other.
Thank
Which
you
I did
for-
say Napalm Death as well, so that's at least brings a little more extreme metal in there.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here to contribute to it, Cooper.
I'm here to bring the purity, of course.
Yeah,
I'm,
the metal to the metal hammer
Hey,
of doom.
so
We do appreciate
we've been Jesse and I have just been gushing,
reminiscing.
gushing, the whole fucking deal here. Tell me what your thoughts on I mean, there's nothing really to say about Salutations, but just quick speak on Jump Around and Put Your Head Out, and then we'll move on.
Jump Around, I can totally see. And what's very interesting is hearing it, because this is really the first time I'm hearing it with headphones. I don't know how I'd never noticed that kind of repeating beat on Jump Around, the do 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 in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never really heard that when listening to the song, so it's quite nice. I find the lyrics overall very catchy. I will say that I do kind of get tired of the Irish shtick, especially now that I know they're from fucking L.A., which I know you can be Irish and be from L.A. But this entire time, I'm like, these fucking Boston guys don't shut the fuck up about Irish and that stuff. And then I find out they're from L.A. It makes me wonder if I've got a Vanilla Ice thing going on to where they're not actually fucking Irish.
I would be pissed. I'd be really pissed.
I'm sure they have to be fucking Irish. Though,
I
right?
hope so. There's so many fucking Irish references in all these songs. I'm like, either they did their research, which boy, that would be something, wouldn't it? Like, hey, we're putting a band together. We're gonna be Irish, but we're not really Irish. So what are we gonna do? Well, let's fucking reference shillelaghs and fucking potatoes. All right, okay, that sounds like a plan. Let's do this. And I'd be pissed if that's what they did.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Everlast is actually born in New York.
Okay.
Okay.
He's born on Long Island, homie. Oh, Everlast is
Strong
my
Island.
dog, yo.
Interesting. He converted from Catholicism to Islam in
A
'96.
lot
I
of
don't-
Islam references in this album.
Doubt that
Are
for
there?
a minute.
Yeah, I say a lot. I know he's like, piece to the. Actually, I think at the end of the album, he's running through like I did say that he's really aggressive through every song. That last album where he's like giving everybody his love, he's like peace to Allah, and so it seems like he's definitely working his way towards that at least in '92.
So I'm looking at his Wikipedia page.
Oh. He went
No.
to high school with Ice Cube
Oh, that's interesting.
and Crazy D from NWA and the Posse. Let's see. So Danny Boy's originally from Brooklyn. All right.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm beginning
that's
to
some East
think,
Coast. Though.
Yeah. So
They must have
I'm-
moved. They all moved.
Yeah. They all like
I
fucking
mean, it has to.
abandoned New York.
They're like, get the fuck out of here.
And then DJ
So-
Lethal. Oh, he's
He
a
brought it on.
Latvian American.
Ooh.
Okay.
Dr. Doom.
And he's originally from Latvia.
Nice. All right. So Robert Cooper's like rant that they're not like authentically Irish or they're just too Irish to do, and it drives him crazy. Could not be a better transition to the next three songs, which start with "Top of the Morning to Ya," Robert Cooper.
Yeah, that one definitely caught me. I was like,
And then we got House and the Rising Sun and the Shamrocks and Shenanigans.
She won't come when you want it.
You see, I'm Irish, but I'm not a leprechaun. You wanna fight, then step up and we'll get it on. You get it right to the grill, I'm white to not ill. A descendant of Dublin with Titanic skill. I duck, then I swing, next thing your jaw's broken. Punk, I ain't joking, you can bet you been choking on a fistful of nothing. Meanwhile, I'll be puffing on a fat blunt. What punk, you don't know the half. Trying to talk shit, man, please don't make me laugh. These Irish eyes are smiling, I'm up wildin'. The house of pain is pumping, start jumping. Freak it, funk it, backseat chunk it. If you can't get with it, you end up sweating it. Then you get a beating just like an egg. It's so hard to run when you got a broken leg. But we can never run off, the house of pain will come off. We got the cake that you're trying to get a crumb off. The Irish styling, the Celtic jazz. No one has it, just us that's it. If you try to take it, I got a big shillelagh. I don't have dreads cause I shave my head daily. You call me a skinhead, I call you a pinhead. Yo, where you been, man? Just like the Tin Man, you got no heart. Here comes the good part, I pick 'em, buck 'em, cut 'em up and buck 'em down. No fucking around, homeboy, you get clown like Krusty. Trust me, you shouldn't play. And by the way, top of the morning to you. I rock the ill shit, you know I kill shit, and then I build shit. Get off my dills, Nick, cause I don't play that. My style goes way back. I kick my shit one time through, fuck the playback. I go off my head, you know I shape my shit, and you don't quit. I say you don't quit, cause I'm the prodigal son. You get well done, just like a steak. Give me a break like no Carter. There's tartar on your teeth. Oh boy, you got beef. Well then you get broke because my crew's no joke. The house of pain is kicking up dirt, and if we're inside the jam, you know we're lifting up skirts. Grabbing on the snatch, feeling on the skin. I'm knocking on your door, honey, let me in, cause I'm down with the freak mode, baby. I'm at my sexual peak, young lady. Ain't nobody cooler than my man, son Dula. Don't you fuck around, I'll smack your knuckles with a ruler. Just like a nun from a Catholic school. I make you drool and play the fool. Snatch you by the ear, smack you up like a queer. Take a puff off my blunt and then sip my beer. Kick the mean style, leave bodies in a pile. Everlast is my name, I'm from the house of pain. You know that I never played a punk role, cause I'm a white Irish man with a funk soul. It's what it is, yo. It's what it is. It's what it is, yo. It's what it is. It's what it is, yo. It's what it is. It's what it is, yo. It's what it is.
Smooth like Beretta, quicker than a Jetta. You're soft like.
I kicks the flavor like Stephen King writes horror. If I was a Jew, then I'd light a menorah. I got rhymes for ya, excuse me, senora. Are you a horror? Are you a lady? Is it Erica Boyer or Marsha Brady? Let me know, hun, the deed'll get done. Just awesome the position. I'll take my rod and then I'll go fishing. I'll get your river flowing. I'm always in the know when it comes to giving pleasure. I'm every woman's treasure. I came to work your body, so let me do my job. I've never been laid off, my rhyming skill paid off. Cause now I'm making records, now I'm making tapes. Steady busting suckers in bunches like grapes. Making all the papes, scooping up the loot. Putting suckers on the run, pull my gun and then I shoot. I never been up front, I never been a fraud. I got a natural skill, for that I thank the Lord. Cause I feel blessed, I'm casually dressed. I always got my gun, but I never wear a vest. I'm quick on the draw, like the horse named McGraw from the cartoon. Boom, shalak, lock, boom. Shalak, lock, boom. Alright now. Boom, shalak, lock, boom. A little loud. Boom, shalak, lock, boom. Everybody. Boom, shalak, lock, boom. Alright now. Break up, break up.
Here comes the gaper. All right.
The gaper.
Here
Oh
come-
no.
Here comes break up. Here comes the gaper. Listen, I love the Butch Vig mix. That is the shit. I've talked about this off air, and I think I mentioned on the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra when when I've seen House of Pain play live, they play the Butch Vig mix, and I'll tell you, I have been in some violent pits in my time. Like I have been to many a Slayer show. And I have been to Ministry and Napalm Death, and I have seen people get their clothing torn, get punched in the face. I've seen people lose teeth. You ain't seen shit. You seen like football playing white boys with their white hats turned backwards that say Cox on it, going nuts to Shamrocks and Shenanigans, the Butch Vig rock remix. Holy cow. But I have to say, boy, even without that, that's still a pretty amazing song, just even without the rock remix. Top of the morning to you. I love that like harmonica sound that they've got going on. It kind of take a drink, everybody. It kind of reminds me of some of the versions of Down in a Hole from The Wire that played throughout 5 seasons. And again, House of the Rising Sun just has such a fun beat to it. I'll tell you, all 3 of these songs like are just great, and every single one of them made me want to like get up and dance and like flip around my living room. It's so good, Jesse.
Yeah, man, I hear you. Top of the morning to you. Of the 3, it's probably my favorite. I have a lot of fun listening to that one. This is, listen, prime 90s hip-hop / rap. Mm-hmm. Take a shot for every pop culture reference you get. Okay? At one
Star Wars references, too.
At one point, dude references Give Me a Break and Nell Carter in the same verse. Okay? There is some serious, like, this is just 90s hip-hop all over. And let me just say that Son Doobie from Funk Dubious showing up on this album is probably the reason why I bought Which Doobie You Be, which came out the following year from Funk Dubious. Now, do you know much about Funk Dubious, Mark Radulich?
Are you asking me, Mark Radulich, what I know about Funk Dubious? They're the band that raps backwards, man.
Are you thinking of Fushnikins?
Maybe. Damn.
Yeah, I think you are. Okay. That's all right. You can turn your whiteboard card on.
How dare you ask Mark Radulich about this band that it's not that one.
It's not that band. All right, so maybe I confused Fushnikers with Funk Dubious.
That's all right. That's okay. Well,
but
common mistake. It happens.
It's okay. Trust Coop, he knows. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The authority on hip hop.
I don't know my persnickety from my Parliament Funkadelic.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the streets of Harlem, persnickety.
We're really upset. We're quite persnickety.
Turn that music
down.
Get off
your girl
my lawn.
And we give her big dickety.
Wait, let me say one thing, and I'm going to go back to you in just a sec, Jesse, but I got to get Robert's opinion on this. The thing I love about rap most of all, Robert Cooper, I want you to listen to me. Come sit on my lap. I want to tell you a story. Okay?
Oh, God, sir, all right, get me off the casting couch now.
Come here. Let me explain why rap is amazing. Because you're sitting there and you're rhyming, you're styling, right? You're hitting that beat. You're making all the girls cream with your cool rhymes, and then you run out of stuff that rhymes. You can just make up a word. Did you know that? Did you hear him? He was going and going, and it was like the same rhyme, one word after another, and then he got to the end and he was like, "Suck my dilsnick." I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Okay.
That's not a word.
There's a certain amount of swagger that you need to have to really pull that off.
Yeah, you gotta do that shit with authority. You have to convince people listening to it that might actually be English.
Yeah, like the authority had a coworker today. Look at the other one, like, oh yeah, did you see so and so got shaved their head again? Yeah, wow, yeah, they actually did that lobotomy and moved half his brain. And she's like, what, really? You have to have that exact level of confidence in your bullshittery.
Absolutely. You got listen. The trick with getting people to listen to you is you have to sound like you know what you're talking about, even if everything you said is wrong. You will convince people you're right.
That is how you run a podcast in 2022 and or a news station.
Right. Well, okay, yeah, the Dilsnick, according to Urban Dictionary.
Jesse Starcher, the authority on lingo.
If there's a man that knows something about Dilsnick, it's him.
Oh, yeah.
Please, can you explain in vascular detail your Dilsnick, sir?
Well, sir, I mean, as if you could not figure out what the context clues are key here. A Dilsnick is indeed a word that describes a man's unusually large penis.
Oh, when you walk into a room, does a girl kind of look you up and down and go, whose horse is that? I stole that from TikTok. Ask your wife about it, Jesse.
Oh, nice.
Ask your wife about it. And just walk into the room and just look her up and then goes, whose horse is that? And see if she gets it.
See,
Okay.
my unfortunate problem is every time I unzip my pants, I have to pay for somebody to remodel my floor.
I'd like to show you something I'm very proud of, but you're going to have to move back.
You're like, hold on, what was that?
Okay.
I used to do that to my managers above me. I'd be like, hey, man, I saw you in the office with the store manager. Really? He's like, yeah, man, it was rough. I was like, yeah, all of a sudden I just hear zip and, her dick hits you in the forehead. I'm sorry.
That is not right.
Oh, yeah, I was very popular with the kids.
Did you want to force your Dilsnick on us anymore, Jesse, or are you ready to put your Dilsnick away?
Son Doobie of Funk Dubious 10 minutes ago shows up on this album, and it caused, like I said, it led me to buy the Which Doobie Ubi. So I just learned, hey, we're here to learn things. There's apparently the Funk Dubious, House of Pain, and Cypress Hill had a clique that was called Soul Assassins. Let's make sure that was right.
I remember the Soul Assassins. Vaguely.
So,
I also thought Funk Dubious rap backwards, so my memory's not great.
It's okay, Mark. It is all right. Yeah, so they called themselves the Soul Assassins clique. And Son, obviously, the House and Son are a combination of the two rappers that are kind of coming on here, the House of Pain and Son Doobie from Funk Dubious. Oh, man, I will tell you that if you like 90s pop culture references, Funk Dubious is not going to let you down either. There's plenty of that on that album. A lot of it.
All right, let's
You're going to tell me it's Crunk Dubious?
Oh, my God. I'm going to let Robert Cooper have kind of the last word on top of the morning to you. House and the Rising Sun, Shamrocks and Shenanigans. Before we talk more about just how you can invent words and what app is out there to help you invent words to finish your rhyme scheme. But first, Robert Cooper, your thoughts on these three songs?
I would actually, I'll save that for a minute because I have a very interesting way I can take that, that awesome knowledge that you're going to drop on our listening base. But yeah, it's one of those, I dug these songs. I'll be honest. The thing actually that when I think about that surprised me, and now that I know both guys are from Brooklyn, like this sounds much more to me like a East Coast 90s album than a West Coast
Absolutely.
90s album. Like when you were like from LA, I'm like, that's why I was like, no way. These guys, like, they have to be from fucking
Like
New York or Boston.
The
They have to be
band
fucking
formed in
Irish.
LA, but they're from New York.
Right.
Okay, so that is one of those. That is a very important distinction because, like, I was like, nah, are these guys? These guys seem way too real to be faking it. Don't tell me I got some Milli Vanilli shit going on.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. There's a very, very East Coast flavor to this album. So, it's.
Which I mean, I really enjoy. Like, I actually am really fond of the East Coast hip hop stylings. I'll admit that like rap is not quite my thing beyond like the occasional 2000s jam because I listened to nothing but pop music until I found heavy metal. It makes sense. Like any pop song from like 2000 to 2005, I got you. Nick Cannon's Gigolo, I could recite that shit.
Well, Jesse, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you're trying to complete your rhyme scheme and you've run out of words, you might actually be able to consult Grammarly for a made-up word. Like Dilsnick.
Really?
Like Dilsnick.
I think there'd be a
here's the thing.
red line.
I think
those things.
that word is going to be so high-end, people are going to think it's made up.
Right.
Well, for you listeners of the Metal Hammer of Doom podcast, Grammarly is offering a free download of the Grammarly software. Grammarly's AI powered help people communicate more effectively. Grammarly helps write mistake-free on Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and nearly anywhere else you write on the web. Grammarly corrects hundreds of grammar, punctuation, and spelling mistakes while also catching contextual errors, improving your vocabulary, and suggesting style improvements. To download Grammarly today, go to getgrammarly.com/W2M Network. Again, that's getgrammarly.com/W2M W2M Network to download Grammarly for free and get off my dill snick, Jesse Starcher. Get off my dill snick.
I was not on it, sir. It was Robert that was sitting on your lap last time, so not me.
It's a lot of lap sitting on this podcast, I got to be honest with you. All right. All right, let's move on to the next 3 songs here on our review of these fine Malt lyrics. This is the House of Pain anthem, Oh Danny Boy, and Guess Who's Back, baby.
Take me out, you never could. Act up in my neighborhood, you better not. My aim is good. The House of Pain is not the gang, just a funky Irish thing. A Celtic savage making cabbage with corned beef on the side. Irish pride's what I got a lot, so don't dispute it. Constantly I'm zooted, if you got a gun then shoot it. Pick any beat I rock it, I'm always in the pocket. You try to L, I grab my gat and now you see me cock it. Next I pull the trigger, I don't care if you're bigger. You try to con yourself, you're bulletproof, but how you figure? The caps that I'll be popping, they'll have your body dropping. You thought you knew the deal, but now you feel your heartbeat stopping. I'm mopping up the comp, that's short for competition. I run my lyrics like the Irish mob in Hell's Kitchen. The House of Pain is in effect, y'all. I say the House of Pain is in effect. What I want to know now is what we're gonna do. Peckerwood, tell me a tale. Please do explain why your skin's so pale and you're so funky. Now how can that be? Like a bird in a tree on the T.O.P.
It's the Irish intellect, no one disrespected. A shit'll get hectic real quick. This is the House of Pain. And pain is one thing we're not, cause we know we've got style and fashion. I smoke some passion. I smacking up girls like cars were crashing.
Danny boy, the pipes are calling. Thought you wasn't when you was, now you're all.
That's right.
I send chills up your spine when I rhyme. I get wicked, you got a booger picking. Sipping on the 40, you know what makes me horny. Spread them legs, grab my eggs. Fire up the grill and crack the kegs. Nobody fear, the party's here. Everlast is coming, the funky drummers drumming. You only came backstage to make the front page. You get me locked up or get yourself knocked up. But I ain't with it, even if I did it. I got 100 homeboys to say I didn't hit it. My name's Everlast, I got the funky rhymes. I make more papers than the LA Times. I don't do lines, but I puff blunts. I don't rock fronts, but I stuff stunts. Fill them to the rim like a cup of coffee. If you don't know me, hold me back above me. Cause I ain't saucy, I fly your head. You wind up dead, you made your bet. Now you gotta lie in it, don't bother trying it. Take my advice, homeboy, think twice. Before you step up, step back, or catch a smack. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Oh shit, guess who's back? So that was almost like an interstitial with those last, like, with this, besides Get Who's Back is like an actual song, but the House of Pain anthem and Danny Boy, they're like kind of like almost interstitials, but they're still songs, so I played them. But this is one of those deals where there's like 27,000 tracks on this album, Jesse, but like some of them are less than 2 minutes. Like, we're really stretching the definition of song here. Guess Who's Back is fucking strong, dude. One of the things, yeah. So my son pointed this out, and I never thought about it before, but my almost 8-year-old son was just like, I like the Irish sound of the beats. And It kind of does have like a poppy Irish Gaelic sound to it. Like, you really, you know, it's some of them. Like, Guess Who's Back, I think, is the one that really clues me into that. But some, like, Top of the Morning to You, like, there's definitely kind of a folkish quality. And it's very layered. So there's a lot going on with each song where there's different layers to the beats and different sounds, different genres. They're sort of melding together to produce the kind of music that makes you want to throw your toilet at someone's face.
So
Pre
I'm
or
hopping over.
post use?
It doesn't matter. When you're so hyped, you got to rip your toilet out from the bathroom and chuck it across the room like you're listening to Limp Bizkit. It really doesn't matter if it's got the poo in it.
Not just any poo.
The poo.
And I don't mean Willie the Pooh.
Willie?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a fucking flub from Family Feud. He's like, name a famous Willie. And the guy's like, Willie the Pooh.
That's awesome. Yes.
That's funny.
Like, there's like a few compilations of that shit, and it tickles the fuck out of me.
That's great.
Like, name a type of pork. Yupine.
Okay. Well, speaking of tickling me, go ahead, Jesse.
Well,
Really? Of all the gay references I make to Jesse, I'm practically trying to pick him up on every show. That's the one that got you?
Well, I mean, you've already had me on your lap. You've already told him to get on your lap, and now you're going to tickle him.
he's wanting me to tickle him.
Yesterday, I whispered in his ear, I'm not one of you nerds. But I was really up close in his ear when I did it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you're doing a podcast on hip-hop music that's 30 years old. Bruh, you're a nerd.
I'm not one of you people.
Okay.
I'm cool at almost 50 years old.
Yes. What is the name of this podcasting network again? I don't think it's the Winfrey Broadcasting Network.
Are you saying naming a podcast after your own self is not cool, Robert Cooper?
No, I'm just saying that if you're not one of a nerd like us, then why is your name on the building?
Listen,
damn it.
the Radulich and Broadcasting Network podcast is the height of cool. It's you nerds have brought it down, is what happened.
Oh yes, okay.
You nerds.
Did you know that Dark Thrones Ablaze in the Northern Sky also came out in 1992?
Whatever.
Wow.
Jesse's trying to put on these shit kickers and kick some shit here. So kick some shit.
Oh,
Jesse.
not until in the next round of three. But
Well, I mean, here Mark's talking about taking the toilet off the bolts and kicking some shit. So at least the two
were you
of those
not
things
on
go
the
together.
Limp Bizkit review where I coined that phrase? This is toilet throwing music, which we got a comment on YouTube where they were like, "I can curse, good sir."
oh, really? Oh, all right. Very.
Oh
good.
yeah, hell yeah.
It's good. It's good that we got that interaction. Hashtag algorithm.
Yeah.
I sent hey, real quick. I'm sorry. Before you continue, real quick, I sent a friend of mine the video. I was like, "Hey, if you want to giggle, because we've friends online, but we haven't met in real life." And I sent her the video of us doing the reaction, and her first words out of her mouth were, "Got them dance moves, eh?" Like, yes, ma'am.
Ah, yes, indeed. Shaking it.
She also came to the same conclusion that we did, that wow, for some LA guys, they sound like New Yorkers. And I was like, well, we're about to give you some education on that. But she won't hear it until for 2 weeks now. Anyway, if she hears it all. Back to you, Jesse. All right, everyone shut the fuck up. Let Jesse talk. Shut up already.
Well,
let him get a word in edgewise.
Listen, all I bring to this podcast is just, information that I'm reading off the internet.
Knowledge.
And here you go.
You bring the
Genius. Yeah, that's right. Genius.com. So I hop on the House of Pain Fine Malt lyrics. Don't try to look that up. Just type in a song first, because it's not going to give you what you want. But I will tell you that
That's a penis.
I've been hoodwinked.
Bamboozled, hornswoggled even.
Hornswoggled even. So the House of Pain anthem apparently includes a sample from Too Many Daves by Dr. Seuss.
Too many caves.
Too Many Daves. And what's funny is it's by Dr. Seuss, 1964. You can check out all the samples, or at least a good bit of them, as they are listed on Genius.com. So guess who's back that is, aside from Hot Fire Lava Jump Around, Guess Who's Back is my favorite track off this album.
Mm-hmm.
It is probably one of my favorites. I have said over and over to my wife at various points through. So this album drops 8 days after we start dating.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So I have said to her in the span of nearly 30 years at that point, I've got the skills to pay the bills and don't pop pills at least 1,000,000 times. That is like the thing that stuck with me from this album for years and years and years. And what's great about this show is that we get the chance sometimes to kind of revisit some of this old stuff that we used to listen to. And listening to House of Pain's Fine Malt lyrics, I seriously don't think I've listened to this album since I had a fucking tape deck. That's how long it's been. I own this on cassette tape. I've never listened to the album since I got rid of my cassette tape deck in my car and went to a CD, and probably even possibly before then. And now I finally revisited it, and I've always wondered where, like, I kind of knew it was Everlast that said it,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew it was House of Pain, but I could never remember the song. I would have never knew where it came from, like, off the album until finally going back and listening to Guess Who's Back, baby. So anyway, it holds a special spot in the old Starcher heart.
Yes, indeedy. All right, who's ready to move on and listen to some more music here?
Bring it.
aye.
All right, here we go. It is time. We've said it like 100 million times already, but now it counts. Put on your shit kickers and kick some shit. Come and get some of this. And life goes on.
Yeah, check it out now. Everybody check it out now. Yo, I got the corned beef.
I got the mots.
I got the shine.
Hey, yo, I got the buckshot.
Hey, yo, I got the burgers.
I got the grill.
If you step it up next,
You better flex that skill. The House of Pain is in full effect.
everybody in the place give full respect. If your girl's in the house, keep the hoe in check. And if I'm busting off that,
You better hit the deck.
stepping on stage with the fly routines. I'm hemming up suckers like bell-bottom jeans. I always switch trains in Jamaica, Queens. When I go to Valley Stream to see my Aunt Eileen.
Danny Boy's coming with the Irish style. The money back guarantee, I make it worth your while. I'm laying out fools like kitchen tile. You come around with a frown and you're leaving a pile.
Step back, man, I ain't a black man. But every time I grab the mic, I rock a fat jam. Without the slim fast, and if a skin pass, you know I step up and get a hell of a chin blast. I'll give her what she wants, even if she fronts. The hill is down with the house, they got the Philly blunts. You know we roll them up, and then we light them up, and then we pump them up and pass them. So Danny Boy
I
blast
got
'em.
the show to with Titus.
Step to this Irish Mac Daddy. I'll light your ass up and smoke you like a fatty. With the whole crew, we'll take you for a long ride. Little did you know, you were on the wrong side. Son, I got the gun and I'm not scared to use it. Put your life on the line, homeboy, you lose it. That's how it goes, Holmes. I blow domes when I rock microphones. I can get swift to the riff from an old jam. I'm wise like an old man and don't take shit from no clan, a crew, a gang, a crew, a club, a whack MC trying to rhyme over my dub. Fuck the bullshit, the beast gets pulled quick. 14 pulls on my trigger, that's the whole clip. And if there's anyone still standing thinking that they're running shit, they can come and get some of this. Come and get some of this. Come and get some of this.
Remember when the shit hit the fan? And the man wanna know which way you ran.
Back it up, stack it up, pop your corn. I got more style than some doobies got porn. Top of the morning, rise and shine. LA Swan, got no spine. Drop that stick, pick, my crew's real thick. Drop your gun, pig, and get a real dick. I got my gat cause I don't trust ya. Play me close and make me nervous, I'll bust ya. LA's no joke, the cops don't care. They'll beat you down till there's just a fucking hair. A life left in ya, then they'll pin ya. Way out in wayside, watch your backside. White and black cry, it's what goes on. And life 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 goes on.
Life goes on, Jesse Starcher. Before we continue with the show, I know everyone's been enjoying the House of Pain as much as we are, but maybe, just maybe, you might want to find some more House of Pain. Maybe you want to hear Same As It Ever Was. You want to hear some House of Pain and Helmet, right, from the Judgment Night soundtrack, but you don't want to spend any money. Do you want to spend money, Jesse?
No, I'm cheap.
Right. You just like to fondle.
I thought you were Jesse.
You just one joke at a time. If you just like to wander the neighborhood fondling junk, you don't want to spend any money. I understand what you're all about, Jesse.
That's right, damn it.
That's right. He likes to go to the auction and buy himself some used goods with all his money. But he's not one to be up there trying to spend money on the House of Pain discography, right? So what better way, Robert Cooper, to experience all the greatness that is House of Pain without spending a dime than taking advantage of our 30-day offer? You know the deal, Robert Cooper.
Boy, howdy do I, whether it be the House of Pain or the porn spoof, the House of Poon.
It's all
You can
there.
listen to any of it on Amazon Music Unlimited for 30 days, free of charge. Whether you want to hear that one song that I know that Carlos Santana did with Everlast, or if you want to hear Dark Thrones ablaze in the northern sky.
Robert was like, could we please do another metal album, please? So yes, for a free 30-day trial of the Amazon Music Unlimited, head to getamazonmusic.com/W2Mnetwork. Again, that's getamazonmusic.com/W2Mnetwork. Click the link in the description of this podcast, fill out the information, agree to the 30 days, and you can listen to all the Dark Throne, you can listen to all the Dark Empire, you can listen to all the Dark Reddit, all of it. It's all there
Dark
for
Tranquility.
you. Dark Tranquility. Ooh. That's right.
Nice.
And you can listen to the soundtrack for the unfortunate film that Johnny Depp starred in, which was a remake of the soap opera Dark Shadows.
Yeah, it sucked. You know what you can do? You can go back to the year 1992 and 1991 and listen to all the great #1 albums of that year that we were talking about at the top of this podcast. What a year. What a handful of years in music, ladies and gentlemen. And it's all there for you to listen for free if you click our link at getamazonmusic.com/W2M Network. Jesse Starcher, I have to ask, because I ask on every podcast, but what does the angry metal guy think of all this?
What the
fuck? Well, unfortunately, I do not believe the angry metal guy is taking a look at fine Malt lyrics, 30 years after it dropped.
True travesty of our time.
Right. I will tell you, however, we do have some reviews here that I was able to find, and I'll give you some numbers, and maybe we'll take a look, see what some final thoughts are for some people when they did the review. But we're looking at rateyourmusic.com. Okay, we got 786 ratings out of 5. This album scores a 3.25. And then we have Sputnik Music. Again, it's another score aggregate. They have it listed as, the user ratings have it listed as 3.9 out of 5. An excellent album, as they say. And then this is from Rap Maniacs, that's with a Z.com. They also voted a 3.5 out of 5. So there is, there's a lot to be said. I think that clearly Jump Around is that's the standout song. So anybody who grabs the rest of the album, it's going to be kind of a toss-up as to whether they like the signature sound of House of Pain. They may have liked Jump Around, but does that fire, continue for people throughout the album? Sounds like some people drop off after a little bit every once in a while. So Boom Bap, I will tell you this, but we'll just read this here right here. BoomBapReviews.blogspot.com. All right. Worth it? That's the question. If you hate fun and good times, then stay away from this album. If you like Jump Around, then get this album ASAP, because I know a shit ton of people whose exposure to House of Pain is exclusively limited to Jump Around. Yes, I'm talking about you. So, I wanted to kind of touch on something, because I know we're getting ready to close up with the rest of these songs here pretty soon. How many more songs do we have? Like 5?
We have 3, sir.
3. Okay, so we're about ready to close things up. Yeah, I forgot we got this is padded out with 3 remixes, isn't it?
I cut the remix. Look, we've already talked about the Butch Vig mix. How many more time am I going to play it? And I don't need to hear a remix of Jump Around.
Right, and all my love is going to be. I don't know if we're going to have much to say about that one, but anyway, your daughter has a good point, Mark. When you dive lyrically into some of these songs, I even Robert Cooper was listening to what we just played, and I heard him guffaw at some of the things that were said at one point.
I did guffaw.
You did guffaw, sir. I'm trying to find the specific what we listened to. I think it was right there at the beginning.
It was the one about wasn't it about your host talking or something like that?
Yeah, it's everybody in the place give full respect. If your girl's in the house, keep the hoe in check.
Which I was like,
Listen, as kept men, Jesse Starcher and I know, and Robert Cooper, you will figure this out too. Tell Natalia I said hi, that you must keep your hose in check. Sometimes you got to spank them right in the vagina. Jesse knows what I'm talking about.
Well,
no. The old cooter pooter.
Dude. just gotta give them a whack. Let them know. Let them know when they did wrong.
It is so funny that you say this, because the whole keep your hoe in check thing was that. I mean, that's kind of the vernacular for hip hop at this point in time. All right, because you're going to hear that.
It's like the "Don't tread on me" of that generation.
Sure. That's something that's going to be said. You're going to find that across quite a few rap albums. But I will say that there are a few things that House of Pain approach on this album that definitely would not fly. I should say definitely would not go over so well in today's climate. Are you
trying to say that this is not a woke album?
There is a lyric, and I'm trying to find it, where he's...
I think it had to do with some... didn't it use the word that rhymes with... I don't know, what rhymes with faggot?
Well, I mean...
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay. I kicked the willy drag, and again, I'm just reading straight from the lyrics off Genius.com.
You're okay.
I kicked the willy drag. Thank you very much. I kick the willy drag, let my pants sag, don't give up the booty, because I ain't no fag.
Oh.
There is also...
I was like, oh, wow.
Robert was like, that's unfortunate.
I was like, oh, man, I got the wrong saying of it. Now I look like a jackass.
No, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't think that's what you were quoting. This was off. This was later in one of the songs we didn't even play, or we haven't even jumped all the way down into that. We didn't play that much of that song because there are other references using that word and versions of that word. There's also a point where he talks about how a bunch of his homies would swear that if the girl says that she's pregnant, a bunch of his homies would say that he wasn't the one that did it. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know if that's the truth, or he's just saying, hey, yeah, I could get you pregnant and nobody's going to know. There is a point where he says, it basically sounds like he's going to grab a girl's cooch.
Oh, he's going to grab him by the pussy? Like our president?
He says,
that man might be able to get elected at this rate.
Listen, I think if we can teach our sons one thing, is that if you grab a girl by the pussy, you too can be president.
Yeah, that is actually what we should all aspire. We should teach all men and women to aspire to be.
To grab each other by the pussy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't matter what you name it. If it's Fluffy, if it's Dave, you just got to pick it up.
When Jesse went into this podcast tonight, he was like, I just hope Mark doesn't talk about banging his wife, and Robert Cooper talks about pooping everywhere. And Jesse's like, I think I would have preferred that now.
What has this podcast? How many times do we get to talk about Dave the Dude?
It's true.
Which I found out that my best friend Nick, who one day will be on this podcast.
That's a bingo!
Yeah, so his cat is named Cooper. His name was Cooper when they got him.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently in his girlfriend's phone, I'm Coop the Human.
Nice. Coop the Human. You just snorted, Jesse. I want you to know that. I'm going to call you out on it.
No, don't be snorting on me, or don't be saying I'm snorting. There is one other thing that I wanted to talk about here, about how he mentions, like, he would feel bad about getting a woman pregnant because he doesn't want to kill an unborn child.
Mm-hmm.
That's in this album.
Well, it's because he's Catholic.
It's not. What's going on here, man? It's just very, very taboo in some spots. So if you like 90s hip hop, you better be ready to take all that it is going to give you. But I will say that House of Pain, when you compare it to some of the other albums that were coming out at this point in time, they're very brash with some of the language, and definitely, I mean, let's say some of the language, you know what I mean. They're
No. I just totally came up with a really sick rap to talk about this. I'm very proud of myself right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's born with the girth, and he's he's got the gift of the length, got the torsion, the hips. Shit, that rap stinks. I was trying to say he's got the hips that bring all the torsion. His dick's so big, he give your girl an abortion. You know.
There's this band called Butt Trumpet. And
man, I feel like I should be their lead vocalist.
So at one of the songs at the end, they just sort of drones on, and the guy's like kind of doing spoken word, and he talks about like being like 3 or 4 inches, and he takes a beat, and he's like wide, and that always cracks me up. Kind of reminds me of Beer Can from Orange Is the New Black. You know what I'm talking about, Jesse?
Beer Can from Orange? No, I've not watched that show. My wife watched every single episode. I have not.
Okay, when you get off this podcast tonight, ask her about Beer Can. And then let her ask you why the hell you bringing this up on what's supposed to be a music podcast.
It reminds me of a story one of my managers told me that his football coach in college, he's like, yeah, I tell you, son, it's 3 inches long, but it's 4 inches wide. Ain't gonna hit the back, but it'll bust the side just like a beanie weenie can.
Man.
Sometimes it's not about getting to the end of the tunnel, but scraping the sides.
I mean, pretty much. It's that's exactly how it should be.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
All right. Are you properly embarrassed? Have we hit the quota of embarrassing Jesse, and so we can move on with this podcast?
I have officially left my house. I don't know why my headset is still on my head right now. I have tried to run as far away as I can from this godforsaken.
Just staring into the stars, asking why.
It's
God,
like, when will my sentence end? Unfortunately for you, sir, there is no Raquel Welch poster to save you today.
Damn it!
All right, well, folks, we've had fun, but it's time to move this to a close. Do we have any other reviews before we move on?
No, that's it. We're ready to go, man.
All right. Then here we go. The last 3 songs of the night on our St. Patrick's Day special 2022 House of Pain Fine Malt lyrics. One for the road, feel it, and all my love.
Check it out. Everybody in the house, check it out. The House of Pain is in full effect. Call me the corn-fed peckerwood redneck cracker. White bread shit kicking Irish feet jacker. Coming with the style of a Celtic rebel. Those that ain't on my level call me the blue-eyed devil. But that's just because they don't know what I know. And that's just because they can't flow like I flow. I rip shit, dip shit, so what you gotta say? Why you wanna play? I fuck you up with no delay. And knock your motherfucking fronts out. Smoke my Philly blunts out. My Buddha never runs out. I turn the little stunts out. And I got the hookers calling me pops. Once their cherry pops, Everlasting's all the props. I'm hitting skins from here to Copenhagen. I bet the wenches cause you know I'm a pagan. The House of Pain, that's the name of my crew. You don't like it, tough luck, what the fuck you gonna do? Nothing. I'm not a hard rock. Got bitches on my jock like new kids on the block. I can't lose like Parker Lewis. I'm undefeated. Step into my sector, homeboy, you get greeted by the 380 Colt Mustang in my pocket. I had a few drinks already, don't make me cocky. Cause if I have to cock it, well then it's getting shot. And if it's getting shot, well yo, you're getting bucked down. I don't fuck around, I ain't got time for punks. But I got time to smoke all the skunk Philly blunts. Stunts gather round, check out the sound. And let's get down to do the nasty, freaky, funky, sticky, jumpy. Let's bump bucklets in the nighttime between the sheets. Cause I rock fly rhymes over funky beats. The Celtic ruins, the Legion of Doom. Now give me the tracker with the fat back boom. Then give me some room, and I'll explode. Cock back my hammer, then squeeze off my load. So hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more. Or I'll be mopping up the floor with your crew of softcore. Pump pussy bitches, jailhouse snitches. On stage I get wrecked and I collect my riches. I keep the funky style and like Gomer Pyle. You'll be surprised, surprised, surprised. As I rise to the top, fuck a punk cop. I'm always hip hop, only a pimple goes pop. So you better quit it. I came to rip shit, blasting with the soul assassins, asking the question, teaching the lesson, bringing the West Coast back to the East Coast where it all started. What are you retarded? You're starting to trip from that Jerry curl trip. The pace, keep it freaking. Can you keep a secret? So can I. Why ask why? Try but drop. I get fly, smoking a tie, puffing a blunt, toking a split, stumping any crew that tries to rip. The House of Pain, Cypress Hill, full dubious. My girl's on the pill, so I can drill and not have to kill an unborn child. Cause that shit's wild. I felt the pain, I built the house. All respect due to Mickey Mouse. Club, I'm rhyming on the dub. Switch up the track so I can shout out my love. Yeah, you know my mother, she gets all my love.
Jesse Starcher, he gets all my love. Robert Cooper, he gets all my love. Ronnie Adams from the Screaming Boy podcast, he gets all my love. Jason Teasley, the Protocol son, he gets all my love. Pat Mullen, the Punchy Pugilist, the Punchy Pugilist rather, he gets all my love. Andrew Graham, my favorite Canadian, he gets all my love. David Wright, also my other favorite Canadian, he gets all my love.
Oh shit, I have another kid.
Evan Bevins, he gets all my love. They all get. Robert Winfrey, he gets the most love, except for Jesse Starcher. He gets all my love.
Oh, keep that love in your pants, Mark Radulich.
Right next to my dill snick. I love this album. I had so much fun tonight. Like sometimes, I feel like we're just like clocking in. Like, all right, we listen to this album. It's all right. Plugs,
right.
You know. But I have a good time talking to you guys, so like I get through it. But sometimes some of these albums, it's like, this just feels like content. I legitimately had a ball tonight, and that is at least 50% because I love talking to you guys and we have so much fun. But the other 50% for sure for Shizzle. My Rizzle, is how great this album is, and it's just brings me back. You know, like if you're not into rap, if you're not into this kind of music, no, you're gonna have a hard time with this. It's not going to appeal to you. But I mean, it's iconic. It's part of the fabric of American culture now. I think it'll continue to be Jump Around will continue to be played for years to come because it never loses its resonance with the masses. And I just had a ball. I love almost every single song on here, and even if I don't totally love it, I like it a lot. So, Jesse, I'm going to pass it over to you for your final words, but we need to do this a little bit more often. We need to maybe take a break from doing new albums and occasionally just pluck a good, you know. I mean, I can't do it for the Unspoken Decade because they won't let me, but maybe we just need to do it here. Maybe we just need to take a night off every once in a while and be like, let's just listen to the best era of music ever, the early 90s. You know what I mean, Jesse?
The Unspoken Decade, the place for 90s comics, does not actually
Hang
have a
on,
spot
you're picking
for the
at me, but
Metal
that's the
Hammer
first
of
time I said they're not Nazis, okay? I was trying to be nice because you scolded me for irritating your friends.
Oh, I love how it goes from like a level 1 to a level 10 with you. Scolded you. I said, Mark, let's think about this. Let's logically think about this. It's a 90s comics website.
I believe your exact quote was, "Let's not agitate all my friends," and I went right. And so right to scolded.
All right. Okay, so House of Pain's Fine Malt lyrics is a nostalgic hit for me right now. It was back in the day. We didn't have the money to spend. We definitely didn't have Amazon Music.
No, we didn't.
We could not just go and listen to any album we wanted to at a whim and get that exposure, if you will, to a lot of the great content that was out there. Instead, all you really had to kind of base your likes when it comes to music on was radio play and maybe some MTV. That was the generation that I grew up in. I was able to listen to the radio, listen to MTV, Yo MTV Raps, and have some buddies at school. I've mentioned a guy on school or a guy that I went to school with on this podcast before, where he would come over and he would have this just massive a carrying case full of just audio cassette tapes, and he would pop that thing open, and I mean, it would have some of the most obscure, what I thought was obscure rap albums, Public Enemy, the Lynch Mob, stuff like that I'd never heard of before, and some of that stuff never really got played a whole lot on MTV. And anyway, when House of Pain hits, that's something that I was able to actually get my ears on at a young age, latch onto it, enjoyed it. Everybody heard it, and I was able to get the album. So listening to the album over and over and over this thing was probably in rotation in my mom's car, because I certainly wasn't driving at this point. This was in my mom's car. Whenever we were going somewhere, I was like, hey, can we listen to some House of Pain? Or I was at my house throwing it in my big boom box in my bedroom, listening to it, or my yellow Sony Sports Walkman. You remember those?
Yes.
I'd throw it in that and listen to that on the way to and from school, on the bus ride home, on the bus ride there. So it hits that nostalgic spot for me because it was so listened to back in the day. Jump Around is phenomenal. I'm not going to go on and on about it because we already have. It is something that is just completely ascended to like any 90s playlist. If you go over to Amazon Music and you find a 90s playlist, especially something 90s pop, this is probably on there. Jump Around is probably on that playlist. So, I had a good time. It was a great throwback, great fun time reminiscing and listening to an album I hadn't listened to, like I said, since my fucking tape player. So this is a good time. Robert Cooper, tell us all about it, buddy.
Yeah, I specifically remember the early 90s jamming out to this track all the time in the NICU.
Oh, I would have loved if that's the hospital that you were born in. Like, they pipe that into the fucking room where all the little babies are.
Doctors delivering babies, just going, yo, I got this baby. It's time to drop bombs on your moms.
Came to drop bombs.
What's funny, though, is that my mom actually told me that to calm me down, they would turn VH1 on. So
okay.
I doubt House of Pain was on there, but you never know. Definitely listen to enough Phil Collins, though. That's for sure. Love me some Phil Collins. Always fond of some Phil Collins. Even, especially on the Metal Podcast. Right there. Dark Throne and Phil Collins. They need to actually have a duet, just like Tony Bennett and Poppy. Thought I forgot about that one, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. We're going to cover Fly Me to the Moon while she's just sitting there screaming the entire way. But yeah, so I mean this album for me, it is definitely emblematic of the time. I found some of the wordplay very nice. Some of it did not age well, but that's okay. I didn't expect it to. I did really enjoy the time, enjoyed hanging out with you fellas. I can't really give an honest score, though, because to be honest, I'm not really an overall music reviewer. I really see myself as more of a metal reviewer, and, this still wasn't quite to my taste, even if I did enjoy listening to it. I just don't feel like my opinion would be informed enough to not give it an accidental 2 out of 10 when I meant to say 2 out of 5. So,
is Natalia around tonight?
She is not. She's sitting at her house, so I am just hanging out with Sir Dave. And some weed. I did. He just rolled over and he's trying to bite me because I'm trying to rub his belly. Because you don't do that with cats. Cats hate
Stop
that
torturing.
usually.
Yeah, stop torturing that cat.
Yeah, he's a good kitty though, aren't you, Dave?
What'd she say when you were saying, "Hey, I got to do my metal podcast tonight. We're doing House of Pain."
She's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Though I forgot it's not coming out tomorrow, so I have to let her know that it is not coming out tomorrow."
Yeah,
because she listens to this on her way to work on Thursday mornings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tell her it's all Batman this week.
Yeah, it's all Batman, which, we really are missing an opportunity to review the 1995 Batman Forever soundtrack featuring Seal's Kiss on a Rose.
You know what I would have done before that? I would have done the Batman 89 soundtrack with Prince.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That'll get you demonetized real quick.
In a fucking hurry, dude.
Oh, yeah, it would be rough.
Right quick in a hurry. Fast. Flavor Vision ain't blurry, baby. Speaking of which, we're amassing quite the collection of rap albums on the Metal Hammer of Doom. We did, I think the very first one we ever did. No, the very first one we ever did was Body Count. And we've done like rap metal albums. We've done like Power Flow. Obviously, we've done a couple of Limp Bizkit albums. But like as far as like just straight up rap albums, we've done the Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang, the 36 Chambers, Enter the Wu-Tang, whichever order it goes in. We did the new Public Enemy album from a year or two ago. When the shit goes down,
that's right.
When the grid goes down, you better be ready.
when the grid goes down,
you better be ready.
Don't forget about Prophets of Rage.
Yeah, which was the Rage
They
Against
fly
the
over,
Machine.
they fly over.
They fly over, they fly over.
I'll listen to that album any day.
Hell
From
yeah.
front to back. Such a good album.
Yeah, we're going to listen to that on the way to the Rage Against the Machine concert when I come to Ohio.
Fucking damn well better be.
Because I sure as shit ain't going to get any fucking pierogies. I'm going to get hands.
What?
I'm going to get a ham sandwich.
They do not serve pierogies at Wendy's, so I'm just letting you know.
Let's get
they don't? What about ramen?
I don't think that either.
So anyway, but yeah, we've got a little, nice little collection of rap albums going here. We'll have to revisit this. This is fun. I can't post this in like my metal Facebook groups that I'm in though, because they'll be like, "What the fuck is this?" So, yeah. But this was a hot time in the old town tonight, and I'm glad we did it. And I think this is a proper way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Don't you agree, Jesse?
Oh my goodness, I got a little Irish in me. Let me get that out. All right.
What's his name?
Damn it, he beat me to it. All right, so tomorrow, speaking of St. Patrick's Day, it'll be St. Patrick's Day proper. And myself and Jason Teasley are going to be reviewing Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston. Her finest work to date, in my opinion. So this whole week, I'm actually on vacation as these shows are appearing. But we kicked off my vacation week with a re-airing of The Hunger Games, Parts 1 and 2. And then I dug back in the Wayback Machine. How far back, Jesse? Way, way back.
Way, way back.
Myself and my best friend Tom, we had a debate over which is better, Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi, that Sean Comer moderated in the early days of The Long Road to Ruin. Hey, do you remember when we dedicated an entire month to Alan Moore, and might I also add Fuck Firestorm?
V for Vendetta.
Yes.
Continues to be one fucking big fucking Radulich meme right there.
Well, it just so happens that I believe it's the anniversary of when the first V for Vendetta aired, something along those lines. I was trying to find something to put for this week. I'm like, I think V for Vendetta came out around then. So the Alan Moore month, now rechristened as a comic strip for V for Vendetta, aired yesterday, as a matter of fact, March 15th. And then Friday is our Damn You Hollywood review from a few years back of London Has Fallen. And Saturday, we have a re-airing of Voltron, Defender, Season 2 from Netflix.
Defenders of the Universe.
That's the one. Allegedly, if it's available on a pay-per-view here in America, myself and Stuart Lang will be doing an alternative commentary for Thor versus Eddie, the heaviest boxing match in the history of boxing.
Oh, are you shitting me?
I am
not,
my God,
sir. My stepdad has been fucking talking about this boxing match for 2 fucking years.
Yes, sir. It's been rescheduled a couple of times.
So is that Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday the 19th, March 19th.
Oh,
and I
gotta find a way for him to watch it so he can talk about it more.
It'll probably be on Fight, if all things being equal, or maybe it'll get carried on ESPN. Who knows? But yeah, they're doing it in Dubai, so it'll be like in the middle of the day. I can't wait for this. Stuart Lang, I was talking to Stuart Lang about it, and he's like, "Yeah, we got to cover that." And I'm like, "Yeah, we do." Hot damn.
Is that going to be like is it going to be almost like bum fights? Because, I mean, they're athletes, but also they are...
Have you ever seen Dave Bautista's fucking MMA fight that he did in Rhode Island at the Dunkin' Donuts
I never
Arena?
did.
Oh, my God. Check that out. It'll probably be like that.
But do you think it'll be like that time Mariusz Pudzianowski knocked out Tim Sylvia?
I hope. All right, and then in the evening, some serious boxing. I believe it'll be myself and Dan Lasby doing Edward Belanga versus Steve Rolls on ESPN. And then Sunday, it'll be another Insiders TV party. Big Sexy, Harry Broadhurst, and myself, the Heartbreak Kid, Mark Radulich, will be reviewing Terminus 2 and Prestige in West Coast Pro Wrestling Savage Point featuring Malachi Black, currently wrestling for AEW. All right, that's all the plugs for me. The next Metal Hammer of Doom will be Sabaton, the war to end all wars, and Robert Winfrey will be joining us. Plus, in the lead up to WrestleMania on March 30th, be a man, Jesse Starcher. Be a man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. The Randy Savage rap album. Be a man, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah. Dig it.
Dig it. Cream of the crop. I think I just shit my pants. All right.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that was the cream of the crap?
No.
It was the crap of the bunch. All right. When we start doing poop jokes, it's time to call an end to this podcast. So thank you for joining us here on St. Patrick's Day. Have again, it's on me. For Jesse Starcher, Robert Cooper, I'm Mark Radulich. Be well, be safe, and behave.